Really awesome to see you. Well, I say that, but I can't see you yet. So let me know when you're on. I don't know, I would really love to hear if you guys are experiencing the same, because, all right, and that is working good. I'm having a whole, I need to turn that down. Hang on a second. I'm having a problem with going live on my business page on my phone. Is anybody else experiencing that? I don't want to do it there. That needs to go. I'm just trying to share this over. That won't let me do that. Just trying to share this over. Why is no one seeing this? Hello, Facebook. Hello, Facebook land. Are we there? Is it working? What the frog? Oh my gosh. Telstra is driving me crazy for a start. Can you guys hear me today? I don't know why I can't see anyone or anything. Okay, so that's shared over there. So as I was saying, I don't know. Oh, hello, Tani. I can see that the notification has come up for you. That's a relief. Okay, good. So that tells me that we're broadcasting, so that's a good thing. You guys, can't do lives on my Facebook page through my phone. I don't even know why that is. It's really weird. It's very, very strange. Can you guys do it on yours? Have you tried? This is part of the reason why we went live through the desktop, which I hate. Really don't like doing lives on here. I find it really discombobulating. It's really, really funny because everything's it's mirrored, and it throws me out. So anyway, let's just get over all of that, and at least you can hear me, so that is a good thing. So as you are coming on, or if you're listening to the replay of this, please let me know that you're on, because it's not giving me any live notifications, so I don't know what the heck that's all about. And let me know where you're listening from. Let me know how far this has reached out, because that would be really cool to hear. So I know Tani's coming live from Perth, or WA, which is really fun. All right, so I'm so excited. Just before I jump into the content today, which is all about building connections, building relationships, and taking things to the next level. Ooh. In my head, I was like, we're going to go from, first base to second base. That's kind of what I was thinking when I wrote that description, which is not at all really relevant, but it kind of is all at the same time. I'm so excited. I've got Eye of the Tiger starting today. I'm freaking pumped about that program. If you know that you should be in it, then here is the link to get in on that. It's going to be really, really fun. We go live at 2 p.m. Sydney. We've got another call on Thursday. And then for the next 3 weeks following that, 2 calls a week to get your content training under your belt, get your positioning under your belt, and making sure that you're building these connections. So that's that. You can see the link in there. Any questions on it, let me know. There's a bunch of really great payment arrangements and stuff like that you can jump in on there as well. So there's really no excuse for you to not be putting yourself out there this year. Made it as easy as I can. So aside from all of that, also really terribly excited. I am going to Queen tomorrow. Beyond thrilled about that. Really can't wait to be in a stadium and watching them perform. Really feel really, really excited about that. And then on Sunday, I get to welcome in to town 5 amazing badasses as we live together for a whole week. And I've got a couple of ideas of things to help you guys over the course of next week. But what we're going to be doing, I'm not selling anything next week unless something crazy comes up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to let you guys know about this. But otherwise, I'll just be sharing some of the breakthroughs that happen over the course of the week, some of the things that the people are doing and what we're all experiencing. I cannot wait. And it's going to be a lot nicer next week than what it is this week here. It's like windy and dust stormy a freaking again today. It's insane. So I'm really excited about what this next week and a half is looking like. But that's not really what I wanted to talk to you about. What I wanted to talk with you about is, like, obviously it's important to be excited about what you're doing, what you're creating, and what you're putting out there, and the delivery that you get to be able to be a part of. And, you know, if you can't be excited about what you're delivering, then there is a problem, right? If you're not excited about the work that you're doing, then that's a problem. But the thing we've got to look at before we can get into the delivery mode of everything is what we're doing to bring these people through. So a couple of conversations I've had with clients over the last, actually even just today, have been around how quickly things start to work, right? So if you're out there, you're promoting your program, let's say that you've gone into launch mode, it's really important that you understand that we're playing both a short game and a long game as we're building up the momentum and when you're launching your programs out there. Okay, so a lot of people will think, oh, look, I've got this online program, I've got a bunch of people following me, blah, go and put it out on the internet and people are just magically going to buy. Not necessarily. The way that things have been done a lot over the years have been where people are out there and they are marketing their stuff, which is fucking fantastic. But what they're doing is they're really focused on selling online the features and the benefits and the widgets and the number of modules and how long you get to work with someone. And quite frankly, that is not going to cut it if you want to build long-standing relationships and help people get to know you. So think about it a little bit like when you're getting to know somebody else, right? Or either in a dating scenario or becoming friends with someone and things like this. We generally, what you should be doing is you'll be asking questions of them and then they'll be responding and they'll ask some questions and you'll respond. And this is kind of like back and forth relationship building process that happens as you start to learn a little bit more about that person. You'll start to get to know them and you'll start to make a decision, usually based on how they are interacting with you and things like that, whether or not you like them. Right? Now, this will come as a shock to all of you, I know, but you're not going to like everyone and everyone is not going to like you. Right? I know. Dead. And sometimes, like, the people that you really want to like you won't like you, and the people that you really, really, really want to like you won't like them either. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer and a bit more work to kind of get under the wall or under their skin, not in a bad way, but kind of like really get into knowing someone. It's not always easy, right? So if we think about your audience who you're trying to build a relationship with, sometimes when they first start listening to you, they might be like, not real sure about this person. Lizzie. Oh, hey, Lizzie. How are you? How dare they not? I know, it's shocking, isn't it? How dare they not like us? We're fabulous. But like it sometimes they just, people are weird, right? People are very, very strange. But it takes, for some people, it can take time. Now, for me personally, I can be like, for work, I'm like, bang, 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 bang. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. You like me or not, don't really give a shit. Outside of that, I can have a lot of social anxiety. I find it really, it's like this weird kind of thing, right? Where like I know that I come across incredibly confident in work, which I am. I know my stuff. I know what I'm talking about. I'm certain. But then in other parts of my world, I'm not quite like that. I tend to hang around the edges a little bit more and kind of get the lay of the land and, things like that. I'll then start to interact a little bit more. And my personality will then come out. And then once I feel like we're connected, bang, you get the good, the bad, the ugly. It's like you get all of me. But when we're thinking about this with your audience online, a lot of people are going to be not approaching you in the same way, but looking and learning about you in a similar way, right? We can assume that everybody, as soon as they come across you, is like, shut up and take my money. I love you. You're freaking awesome. I'm in like Flynn. Let's go. But the fact of the matter is that 75% or more of people require a minimum of 7 to 10 touch points with you before they even kind of decide whether you're someone that they want to get to know more, right? Whether they're going to like you, whether they're really going to trust you, and then whether or not they're going to buy from you. So if all you are doing, you guys, is talking about your program and the features and the benefits and the widgets, it's kind of like me marketing out there and saying, hey, I've got blonde hair. Hey, I've got tattoos. You should like me because of all of that, right? They're the features of my physical body, right? I'm tiny. And that's the thing. Whereas what we really want to be doing is helping people to see your personality by sharing your values, by sharing your point of difference, by sharing your thinking, sharing from a real place of certainty what it is about you that really makes you different, combined with those things, those features and benefits of your products and your programs. Because everybody out there is selling the features and the benefits. Everyone out there is selling the number of modules, the number of weeks you're going to work together. When really what people are looking for, and the thing that's really missing, is the connection. It's them feeling like, oh, you know what? You've been scared about putting yourself out there before. You've been worried about putting your hand up and asking for help. Maybe, you know, I know that there's a lot of psychologists that follow me and allied health professionals and people who are in, like, coaches and things like that. You know, if you have ever or currently, you know, suffer from any kind or work through any kind of level of anxiety perhaps, or, you know, stuff like that, if your audience knows that you too can or have experienced that and you've got ways of working through it, it really helps them to see, well, actually, maybe I don't have to be this perfect person, this perfect mannequin, this perfectly airbrushed, you know, features and benefits person that seemingly is the way that you become successful. They can see your humanness. They will feel almost like a sense of solidarity and a sense of kinship, like connection with you. And when people feel connected and they feel like they can trust what you're saying and they believe what it is that you're saying, that is going to shortcut the know you, like you, trust you process so that they feel happy and confident in order to then be able to buy from you, right? It's the old way of doing things was like, you know, I've got this really great program. It runs for like 4 weeks. We go through 8 modules. It's going to give you a content marketing plan. Excellent. Me and every other freaking internet marketing coach on the face of the planet can probably help you with that. Not in the way that I will, right? Because, you know, I do things a little bit differently. But if all of a sudden all we're doing is marketing on the things, like the strategy or the plan, then, and or the tactics actually, then all they're going to be able to then shop on is price on what they're getting for their money, when really the thing that's going to help them is you, right? You and what makes you different. And that's your values, your experience, your personality, your way of explaining things, your way of doing things, your vulnerabilities, them feeling like, oh, you know, it's not just me. I'm so grateful to be not so fucking alone with this kind of work, with the things that you're doing. So what people are looking for is connection. The second thing that people are really looking for is to build a relationship with you. And online, I think this is another thing that people really kind of miss, is that they're looking at it as a short game where it's like, I've just done this launch and nobody's fucking bought. Or I've just gonna put this thing out there. I thought it was really good and nobody fucking downloaded it. You know, what the hell is wrong with people? Rah, 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 rah. You know, if you walk into a bar and you're expecting to make connections and you're like, motherfuckers aren't buying me a drink, like, what's the go, you know, rah, 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 you're going to radiate out this energy of kind of like resentment, pissed offness, probably ungratitude, you know, if that's the word. You know, you're going to radiate that out around you, and that's not going to attract people in. So instead, the thing that we've got to look at with building relationships is getting out there, putting stuff out there, and trusting that people are getting to know you through the content you're putting out. And quite frankly, they can't get to know you if all you're doing is talking about the ones and zeros and the binary stuff. Like it's got to be multifaceted. You've got to share different parts of you. The online world is demanding this of you right now. Right? Something that I'm putting together at the moment is a free training resource on the disco ball. And I've taught this for years, but I've never given it away for free, which is kind of funny within itself. But the disco ball is where, you know, if you think about a disco ball and it's got all those mirrors on it, right? And when the light shines on the mirror, it'll refract and it will shine onto someone, and then something else, someone will see something different and someone will see something different. Imagine that you're a disco ball, right? Beautiful, shiny, multifaceted disco ball. And part of you is a badass, right? Part of you might have a little bit of, performance anxiety. Another part of you might really love Kmart shopping. Another part of you might really love designer handbags. Another part of you might really love being alone. And another part of you might really love being out there. You've had your wins, you've had your losses, you've had your successes, you've had your fuck ups. You know, there's so much that makes you you. Now, with this disco ball, when you're putting all of this stuff out there and you're sharing, you know, like I shared yesterday or this morning about these different things. You know, I've made millions of dollars online and I've helped so many people make millions of dollars online. It's been freaking brilliant. But on the same token, you know, so that's one side, I've had this massive success. And then on the other side, I've had launches that have sold nothing. Right. So, and that have kind of sent me into this whole kind of like, oh my God, like maybe my time is done. Maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Right. And then something happens and it reinstills my faith in humanity and my abilities. That, you know, we're not this even keel level of constant, because, and if you are, you're probably not stretching and you're probably not learning and you're probably not failing. You know, the thing that makes you successful is your ability and your willingness to show up, try something, and either win or lose, or learn or fail, or learn or not learn, right? And, you know, and I think this is the problem out there at the moment. It's where so many coaches, so many business trainers, so many fucking internet marketers will talk about their multi-million-dollar launches, but they don't talk about the times that they you know, dug deep and still didn't make any sales, or didn't make the sales that they thought that they would. You know, so it sets this really unfair expectation that everything is freaking sunshine and lollipops and rainbows and successful every freaking time. And it's actually not what happens at all. So it's really important for you to share, not in the moment if you're in the depths of despair, because that would be unresourceful and unhelpful. And we don't need our audiences to save us. You've got therapists, coaches, partners, you know, people to help you work through your shit. Your audience is not there to help you work through your shit, right? You've got other people to help you with that, mentors, coaches, therapists, all of that kind of thing. But when you feel okay to, it's important for you to share what you learned while you were going through the shit and what you did to overcome that. Because if people know, people assume that you're perfect, right? People will look at you and be like, oh my God, she is so fucking brave. Oh my God, you are freaking amazing. Oh my God, I wish I was just like you. You've got this perfect life. You've got this perfect business. You've got this great car. You've got these beautiful things. You know, I want all of that. And they think, if you don't tell them otherwise, they think that you're living this idyllic, perfect life. Now, if anyone is out there painting that they are living this ideal, perfect life, idyllic, perfect life where nothing ever goes wrong and everything is always sunshine and lollipops and, you know, smooth, calm seas, that's what I call fucking bullshit. And I don't believe them. I really don't believe that if people are like just like living like this, I think they must be bored. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a limiting belief. Call me out on it if you like. But I really think that the people who are trying to be better humans, we stumble, we fall, we fuck up, we win, we strive, we succeed, we find the 25th wind when everybody else gives up, when they can't find their second. And I think it's really important that people understand, your clients understand that, you know what, it's not just them. They're not alone. They're not weird. They're not fucking delusional. They're not broken. They are not stupid. They just got to perhaps look at things a little bit differently and embrace their flaws and their imperfections in order to be able to then lift to the next level. And that's where you come in, right? But, you know, it's doing your audience a disservice if you're painting this perfect picture. It's just not how things work. So again, you know, if we look at the people that we admire, and, you know, like if we look at Elizabeth Gilbert, if we look at Oprah Winfrey, if we look at Tony Robbins, if we look at anyone that we kind of admire for whatever reason that might be, even your favorite musicians, your music artists and things like that, if you look at those people, part of the reason that we warm to them is because we've seen them overcome adversity. We've seen them overcome struggle. We've seen them reinvent themselves, right? And if you can really share that and show that for yourself, it helps people get a glimpse behind the curtain, right? And realize that they're actually not alone. Rebecca, my life is part roller coaster, part train wreck, but I totally own it. Yeah, awesome. You know, so long as you're able to help people, you know, that's the key there, right? And not, like I said before, not using your audience as your therapist, because that's just inappropriate and probably very unethical. But, you know, some of the things that I'll talk about are failed launches. I'll talk about being in a domestic violence relationship for 4.5 years and overcoming and getting out of that. I'll talk about how when I, you know, in starting from probably really mid 2014, it took me 3 years to really reinvent myself and do the work that I felt like I was called to be doing and really kind of freaking own. And even then I kind of like up and down. And it wasn't really until the start of 2018 that I'm like, fuck this shit. This is, you know, I've got to do this come hell or high water, or I'm throwing it in the bin. You know, I'd rather go and renovate houses. And, you know, I feel like I'm doing the work that I'm called to do. I feel like I'm doing what I need to do. But it takes going through those stages for you to come to this point. So you can help navigate, if that's what you're doing, you can help people navigate those tumultuous waters and be the shining light and let them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and they don't have to settle for shit. They don't have to settle for bullshit. They don't have to settle for anything less than what they freaking deserve. And that's really, you know, if you think about what gives us the depth of understanding and the depth of connection when you're meeting new people, it's like you start to see that we start to see their personality come through, right? The people that I really connect with are people who are kind of like gritty and resilient, and I know have like come through some really hard times and are really fighting for their place in the world. You know, I admire people who have been through stuff and they're still here to tell a tale, and they're owning it, and they're moving forward, and they're doing the things that they're here to do. They're the kinds of people that I really connect with. And when you're looking at building relationships with people, you know, it's that depth of character that I'm like, fuck, you know, you're freaking amazing. I don't know how you do it, you know, but I thought I had some shit times, but man. Or conversely, it's like, wow, you've had some really freaking amazing times, and you've worked out how you're getting to that next level. You know, it's that willingness to be real at the end of the day. You know, that's who I want to build connections with. That's who I want to build relationships with. And I know for your people, for your audience, that is what they're looking for. They're not only looking for the number of modules in a program, the features and the benefits. They're looking for you, your heart and your soul. And that requires you to be vulnerable. And if you need to go and have a look at somebody who talks about this a lot, and I love the way that she writes about it, it's Brené Brown. Go and read some of Brené Brown's stuff, the Gifts of Imperfection, the Power of Vulnerability. And you know, I think there's a really big calling these days, given how fast the coaching and mentoring industries are growing and the personal development industries are growing really, really fast. There's a call for you to be able to differentiate. And the best way that you can differentiate is by you being you, but you've got to show up in the arena. Thank you, Breno Brown, for that. Show up in the arena. And if you're not willing to show up in the arena, and if you're not willing to get your knees dirty, if you're not willing to stand next to me and stand up and fight and fall down and stand up and fight and fall down and stand up and fight and fall down, if I can go find somebody else to show up, you know, go and find somebody else to learn from, go and find someone else to follow. Because this shit takes grit, it takes resilience, it takes tenacity. It's going to take everything you've got, but my God, you will be rewarded for it. So there you go. That's my little ranty sermon for today, my friends. See, like, I could tell you that the 3 steps to, you know, making it online are, you know, knowing who you are, knowing who your audience is, and then punching home your presence. You know, they're the 3 steps. Right? But anybody could freaking talk about that. Anyone could talk about that. And sometimes I still do talk about, you know, the 3 steps to this and the 5 steps to this and, you know, how to do that. I'm not saying that that stuff's not important, because it is, but it is not everything. It's only part of the equation. And people will shop around. Like, they'll look at what you're offering. They'll look, oh, she's got 3 steps. He's got 5 steps. Let's go buy from him. Or she's got 3 steps. He's got 5 steps. Let's go buy from her. You know, we don't even want to have a conversation about that. The only way that you can really stand out and differentiate and really create powerful positioning in your niche and in your industry is by being you. So there you are. I have the Tiger will teach you how to do that. And if you're not into that, that's totally fine. Send me a message if you've got any questions about that. The other thing that I just wanted to let you know, as I said, you know, I've got people coming in on Sunday to come and live with me for a week. I am so excited. But the other thing that I'm looking at doing is I'm putting together, I've set myself a challenge. And my challenge that I've set myself is to create 1 new free resource for you guys for free every day for a week. So if there is a free resource that you would be like, oh my God, Nicola, I wish I could have this out of your head, can you please let me know? I've got a whole laundry list of things. I've already created 1, 2, 3 things this week, and it's Wednesday. So there you go, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm actually also going to launch a free challenge to hold you a little bit accountable and to motivate and inspire you to do the same. You know, if you think about building relationships as adding value, helping people to get to know you, free resources, free training, free things, lead magnets, they're technically called, are a really great way of doing that, and things like that. So keep your eyes out for a free challenge. I will probably roll that out, I'd say next week. But other than that, if there's anything you want to know, if there's a free resource or a system that I haven't already created, I will create it for you and make it available. All right. Have a really beautiful, awesome, and amazing day. My name is Nicola. Thanks for tuning in. Go out there, have a whole lot of fun, help some people, do all the things that you're here to do, and remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I will talk to you tomorrow. Mwah. Farewell.